So app services are what we call serverless applications in Azure. So what do I mean by serverless application? The term called serverless application doesn't mean that it is not on a server. What it just literally means is that the applications are deployed on a server. You have a server. Microsoft manages the server, manages the RAM, manages the memory, manages every other thing on the server. The only thing that you as a person do is that you just bring in your code and put your code in the server, and your code starts running. So that is what we call serverless application. Do you get that concept? So you just bring in your code, put your code in the server, and the server starts running. So that's what we mean by the term serverless application. Please get that concept. Do you understand? So now I will show you. We have types of serverless applications. One of them is what we call app service. So let me show you something. Can you? Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. I thought I was. I'm sorry. So please, can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. So we have, I've explained the term, what we mean by serverless applications and all those things around it. So now, I want to show you, we have types of serverless applications which we have in Azure. So one of them is function app. Function app is there are apps like I want to trigger something to run every 2 minutes, every 3 minutes. They are event-driven application, meaning that something must happen before that application runs. That's what we call function app. And we have another one called app services. So now, in Azure, you just come here and you search for app services. Microsoft knows what it means by app services. It just means serverless applications generally. You understand? So you just click on app services. Under your app services, you create app service. You have it will give you options. Do you want to create a web app? You want to create a web app plus application, or you want to call WordPress on app service? So let me just go to web app majorly. That's what we need. So it's not going to confirm some things from us. You understand? So app service is a part of a serverless application. Let me now show you another one that I explained initially called function app. Let me duplicate this. So function app also is a type of a serverless application. You understand? I'm going to show you this again. So let's search for it again. Let's go to function app. Function apps. Can you see it? Function app also is a type of a serverless application. So you have another thing called logic app. Logic app also is part of Microsoft serverless applications. So I've explained this initially. I said serverless applications are applications that you don't need to configure the memory, configure the CPU, configure the RAM, configure the disks and all those things. The only thing you just need to do is that have what is called the app service plan. App service plan means that which kind of app service do you want to deploy? Is it something like the SKU or SKU of your app service plan? Do you want something to be in premium? Do you want it to be standard? How much you pay, like the type of VMs you have? So that's what we have is in app service plan. So now let me show you a type of a sample of everything I'm just trying to explain here. So yeah, I want to create a web app now. I've chosen my subscription. I've chosen my resource group. We have our own resource group that we created, training resource group. The web app service plan, the app service I want to create is called DevOps Bootcamp. Please look at this. So when you have this thing turned on, secure unique default hostname, mean that it's going to give you generic name in front of that azure.websites.net. When you turn it off, you have it as devopsbootcamp.azurewebsites.net. That's the code of your application. Now, it's going to ask you the next thing. Do you want to deploy a code or a container? So let me explain what these two things mean. So a code means that you have code, maybe like this is a sample code I want us to use, for instance. This sample website is just have one code, two code, and this is the third code, and that's everything in it. I'm going to choose code for that concept. If I have a container, like for instance, I have a Docker image. I think some of you have heard about Docker image, right? If I have a Docker image in a container registry and I want to deploy it, then I will choose what is called container. Please, do you understand? Now, the next thing again is going to ask me is my stack. My stack means that which kind of code am I deploying? Is it a .NET application that I'm deploying? .NET means that you're having something like C#. That's what .NET really means. You're having a C# code. Java application, am I using a Node application? That is when you're having Node JavaScript. That's what Node literally talks about. When you have PHP, you know PHP in website design now, right? So Python is generally Python. So let me just choose a Node application. But literally, I don't have any Node application. It's just a normal HTML application that I have. I can just choose Node 20 and so on and so forth. That's all. I'm going to choose a Windows operating system for it. I prefer using a Windows operating system, and it's I have my own reason about it. I will show you guys working around it why I chose Windows also. So it's still loading my region. So I'm going to choose East US. So let me choose East US. So now, app service plan. App service plan. Initially, I talked about app service plan. So app service plan means that which kind of pricing are you going to, which kind of app service plan do you want your app service to be deployed on? Is it something that has is it that your application consumes more memory than usual, or it consumes more CPU than usual? So that's what your app service plan means. Now, let me show you a sample of app service plan in East US. I'm coming on. So this one, I'm going to create a new app service plan. My pricing plan, let me show you what it means. It's still loading. Popular options. Let's just give us 2 minutes. So good. So you have the free app service plan. Can you see it? You have for the free one, it's giving me a 60 minutes per day compute. You get it? No virtual CPU. The memory is 1. Storage is just 1 gig. Scale and so on and so forth. You understand? Now, the way we go down, you can see that we have more increased version of it. You have the B1 series, which is $32 per month, and shared D $9 per month. So you can choose a app service plan that you are preferable with. But I will recommend we using a free app service plan because this is for tests and demo purposes. But if we are going to production, you understand, there are many people will be calling our websites. We can be using a premium one. You get it? So now I'm choosing a free one for it. Now we have gone, this one is already grayed out for me. So let's move to the next one. So database. Am I attaching a database to it? No, I am not. My app service is just my app service. So next thing, deployment. So in this time of deployment, they call something a CI/CD pipeline. So CI/CD pipeline talks about people that attended our class last year. I showed you guys how CI/CD pipeline works, right? So you can go to our past videos. I think I'll post it also on the group again. on a sample of CI/CD pipeline. Please remind me. So CI/CD pipeline just talk about building the application and deploying the application. You get it? If you want to connect your CI/CD pipeline to this web app that I'm creating, you just click on enable, select organization, select the repository, and select the branch. And automatically, once you push to that branch, it builds the code and deploy it. So that's talking about CI/CD pipeline. But for now, we don't have a CI/CD pipeline connected to it. So we just click on disable. And also for authentication settings, please just disable it for now. This is just a demo. Networking. So networking talks about if you have your, like for instance, you have a virtual machine that's running your backend code, and you have your front-end application staying in your web app. And you want to connect your web app, which is your front application, to speak to your backend application, which is your on your server. And your server is on a particular virtual network. All what you just need to do, connect your web app to that virtual network. So your web app will be able to connect directly to your virtual machine without interacting with the internet. So please, do you want me to explain this thing again? This concept I just talked about.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. You have your VM, you have your app service. It's recommended that you deploy your backend application, note, quote and unquote, backend application in your server. That's your Windows virtual machine, right? But the front-end application, that's your HTML file, Node.js, JavaScript, you deploy them on your app service, right? You want your app service to be able to your front-end application in your app service to be able to connect to your back-end application that is in your server. You can just do that by connecting your front-end application to a virtual network. That same virtual network is where your virtual machine is on. So literally, your web app is able to communicate with your virtual machine without interacting with the internet. So they are connecting to each other because they are using the same virtual network. So that's what this virtual network integration talk about. But for now, we don't have any virtual machine, for instance. But I'll just show you how it is done. If I want to connect it to virtual machine, I won't be using this type of free version. Please note, I won't be using a free version if I am to use virtual machine integration. But because I'm not using a virtual machine integration, I'll just show you how it works. Let me show you how it works. Let me just choose a premium. I will still go back to free. I just want to show you how it works. Network. Do you see it? I'll click on. I will select virtual network. That virtual network I created. I will now select the parameters. I think this is everything I really need, and so on and so forth. And enable VNet integration on, and I will select the subnet that I want to use, and so on and so forth. So that's everything if I want to use a virtual network integration. Please, do you understand? But for now, we are using a free version, so we really don't need a virtual network integration. So I'll just turn this off and take it back to our free version. Good. That I've explained the networking for you. So the next one again goes to monitor and secure. So monitor and secure talks about do you have any monitoring agent you want to attach to your web app? If no, ignore it. So it's going to load out soon. Please just give me a minute. So here's it. Do I want to enable App Insights? Yes or no? Do I want to monitor the application? Yes or no? But this one is for demo purposes, so we can leave it on no. The next thing is tags. Please, I've explained how to use tags to everybody. Let's try to use it also. So the next thing is just review and create. I'm using a free version for I'm using a free version for this demo, and the next thing I'll just click on create. I'm creating the web app now. So now our app service is already created. So we just go to the resource. So after creating our app service, please, guys, note you have something called a default domain. A default domain was created. Can you see it? Click on it. So my screen is showing it better now. Can you see it? Can all of you open it from your end? Okay. So can you guys see how it looks like? So this is where websites are hosted. You understand? If you have any website or anything that you want to host on Azure, you just host it on your app services and your app service, and it's going to work. So here's a sample of it. Now, these are all the details of your app service. This is the domain name, the main URL of your app service. You can click on it and to take you to the URL of the app service. Okay, so these are all the parameters of the app service. I've talked about deployment initially when I was talking about creating the app service. Now, in terms of settings talks about if you have environmental variables. I'll just run through this. This one, I don't want to bore you guys on it. Is if you have, like, you want your app service to be able to connect to your backend application, you cannot have a variable and put your backend URL there and connect it to it. So that's what the variables kind of mean. And some other parameters around it, but don't bore yourself about it. This is just for you to show how your app service works. Also, I want to show you guys something again before we end the class for today. So we have deployed this app service. The app service is running. All of you can attach it to the website and so on and so forth. Yeah. So anybody having any question on this before I move to the next segment of app service?